There is a small island in the Persian Gulf. It is 8 kilometers long and 4 kilometers wide, and nearly all of Iran's oil passes through it. Right now, the United States is talking, out loud, in public, about sending troops to take that island by force. Think about that for a second. This is not a secret plan, not quiet pressure behind closed doors. America is openly saying that we might send soldiers to grab Iranian land. Today, I want to explain why this is one of the worst ideas to come out of Washington in a very long time. Not just for the soldiers involved, but for America's money, its relationships, and its image around the world. So here is the big question nobody is asking. What if America takes the island and still loses? Let me walk you through it. Let's start with the basics. What is Karg Island, and why does anyone care about it? Karg Island sits in the Persian Gulf, about 25 kilometers from Iran's coast. It is the most important oil shipping point in the Middle East, maybe in the whole world. Almost all of Iran's oil leaves the country through this island. Oil tankers come to its docks, pipes from deep inside Iran bring oil here. From this island, it goes out to the world. This is why America cares about it. Iran uses oil money to pay for its military, its government, and the armed groups it supports across the region. Stop the oil money, and you hurt Iran badly. That's the idea, at least. But here's where things get confusing, and where you can see the cracks in Trump's plan. On one side, America has put heavy sanctions on Iran, rules that are supposed to stop countries from buying Iranian oil. On the other side, the Treasury Secretary recently said that oil tankers already at sea with Iranian oil are safe. They won't be stopped. So which is it? Are we trying to stop Iran's oil or not? That mixed message alone tells you this plan is not fully thought through. Now, let me be fair. Let me first give you the best reason someone might want to do this, before I explain why it doesn't work. The argument goes like this. Taking Karg Island gives America real power over Iran. It's not just a one-time airstrike that Iran can recover from. It's a permanent U.S. presence that cuts off Iran's money for good. It forces Iran to come to the table and make a deal. And it sends a message to China, Russia, and others that America is serious. That's a real argument. And in a simple world, on paper, it sounds logical. But here's the big problem. The moment U.S. troops land on Karg Island, the oil stops. But now America owns all the problems that come with it. Let's look at what happens in just the first 2 days after a U.S. takeover. First, Iran turns off the pipeline. Karg Island doesn't have its own oil. It's like a post office. Oil comes in from Iran, and ships take it out. The actual oil is underground, far away, under the sea. To pump that oil yourself would take years of building and work. So what did America just take? An empty shipping dock? Second, all the ships in the harbor leave. And these are not Iranian ships. They belong to companies from Greece, South Korea, and Singapore. The moment shooting starts, those ships sail away. America isn't taking Iranian property. It's just scaring off ships from friendly countries. Third, oil prices go up around the world. Not because Karg's oil disappears, it was already being blocked by sanctions, but because the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow sea passage next to the island, becomes a danger zone. 1 out of every 5 barrels of oil in the world passes through that strait every day. Shipping companies and insurance companies don't wait to see what happens. They close the route. Oil prices rise in Europe, in Asia, and in countries that had nothing to do with this fight. So who actually benefits from all this? Not America, not Europe, and not even America's partners in Asia. The winners are Russia, because when oil prices go up, Russian oil makes more money. And China, which has been quietly building its own energy supply routes for years, just waiting for a moment like this. This is not putting maximum pressure on Iran. This is America shooting itself in the foot and calling it strength. Now I want to talk about something that nobody seems to be focusing on. The fact that this plan has been talked about openly by the president himself is already a huge mistake. When you tell your enemy what you're going to do before you do it, you give them every advantage. They have time to move civilians off the island. Now, America can't say this is a clean military operation. There were civilians there. They have time to hide bombs, set traps, and get ready to fight back in ways that cost very little for Iran, but are very dangerous for US soldiers. They have time to turn off the oil, as I just said. Means the island has nothing left worth taking before America even arrives. And most importantly, they have time to control the story. In today's world, the story matters as much as the fighting. Sometimes more. Here's something people often miss about Iran. The Iranian government is not well liked by many of its own people. The economy is bad. People are frustrated. But there is one thing that unites Iranians fast: a foreign army taking their land. If US troops land on Karg Island, the Iranian government doesn't look weak. It looks like a victim. Suddenly, the Iranian people are behind their leaders again. America would be handing Iran's government a gift it could use for the next 20 years. Let's imagine the operation goes smoothly. US soldiers land. They take control. Nobody dies. The American flag goes up. The president goes on TV and says, "We won." So now what? This is the question nobody in Washington seems to have an answer for. Taking an island takes a few hours. Keeping it is a completely different fight. Iran's coast is only 18 miles away. Iran's military, especially the Revolutionary Guards, is very good at one specific thing: small, constant, and painful attacks. Fast boats, rockets fired from the shore, cheap drones, underwater swimmers. And these are not just theories. Iran has used all of these in the Persian Gulf before. And here is the political problem that goes with it. Every time a US soldier gets hurt on Karg Island, it becomes a headline. Every rocket that lands, every drone that gets through, and every funeral at home. The American people were never asked about this mission. There was no vote in Congress, no public debate. The idea was floated like someone talking about buying a building. That's fine, until American families start getting bad news. Then, public opinion turns fast, and we have seen this pattern before. It didn't end well in Iraq. It didn't end well in Afghanistan. And there's another problem at home. Trump's voters were told he would bring soldiers home, not send them into new wars in the Middle East. So, if taking the island is a bad idea, then what should America do instead? Let me be straight with you. If the real goal is cutting off Iran's oil money, there are better ways to do it. Ways that actually work. Ways that don't risk a wider war. Number one, properly enforce the sanctions that already exist. There is a so-called shadow fleet, old tankers that quietly move Iranian oil, flying the flags of small countries, trying to stay off the radar. Cracking down on this fleet consistently and seriously does more damage to Iran's income than any military operation. It's not exciting, there's no dramatic footage, but it works. Number two, work with partners. South Korea, Japan, and India still buy Iranian oil. Getting these countries to reduce or stop those purchases. Number three, keep military pressure but don't pull the trigger. Here's something many people don't understand about power. The threat of action is often stronger than the action itself. Once you use your biggest move, it's gone. You can only take Karg Island once. After that, what do you have left to threaten? America's real strength in this region comes from being unpredictable and patient. Thank you for watching. If you want more stories and political insight like this, make sure to hit the like button and do subscribe to the channel.